Check. The daily reflections for March 26th. By the way, today's day is going a little bit better than yesterday's day, and I'm linking yesterday's daily reflections at the end of this video if you want to check it out. It's only like 6 minutes. You can fill your soul with a little AA yumminess. However, the title for March 26th is The Teaching is Never Over. Abandon yourself to God as you understand God. Admit your faults to Him and to your fellows. Clear away the wreckage of the past. Give freely of what you find and join us. I feel like this is kind of like a cult, like a pitch meeting for a cult, but AA is not a cult. We shall be with you in the fellowship of the Spirit, and you will surely meet some of us as you trudge the road of happy destiny. May God bless you and keep you until then. There's a group of guys that I hang out with in AA, in my home group. And after we say trudge the road of happy destiny, we always say trudge, trudge, trudge. Because it's true. I mean, listen. Being in AA, being sober, is the easier, softer way. Once you get into it, get a little bit of spirituality, things start to get real good real quick. However, there is a trudging aspect to it because we continue to have to take action and work. So I guess that's trudging. Anyway, that's from Alcoholics Anonymous, page 164. These words put a lump in my throat each time I read them. In the beginning, it was because I felt, oh no, the teaching is over. Now I'm on my own. It will never be this new again. Today, I feel deep affection for our AA pioneers. When I read the passage, realizing that it sums up all of what I believe in and strive for, and that, with God's blessing, the teaching is never over. I'm never on my own, and every day is brand new. Whew. Yowza. This one's jam-packed too, but this one's kind of a feel-good one. I like these. Some of the daily reflections, I feel like, I feel bad about myself. But this one, not so much. Okay, so when I read this about the teaching is never over, for me that kind of reflects back to the different seasons of AA. And I look back on my first year of sobriety, and obviously there's a lot of excitement because my life did change so quickly, so fast. And that kind of levels off as I was sober for a longer period of time. And it leveled all the way off till I relapsed. But for me, that relapse was absolutely the best thing that ever happened to me because it kind of reopened my willingness bucket of willingness. Do you have a bucket of willingness this morning? It reopened my bucket of willingness. And also through repetition of doing the steps, and I guess a bit of a deeper understanding of the steps because I had been sober. Well, I had been dry for 13 years. I was sober for about 5 or 6 of those years. But I still had a head full of AA. What I'm getting at is there's different levels of sobriety, different seasons of sobriety. And when I went through the relapse and I started going through the steps again with a very good sponsor, I was going through step 4 and it was like I got hit over the head with a cinder block, and it was about instincts and how my instincts were wrong. And that's okay because they're my instincts. I can't change them. Really what happens is I go back to my instincts if I'm not trudging the road of happy destiny, i.e. taking the actions that I need to take, i.e. praying. You're probably getting sick of me saying i.e. praying and meditating every day. But even though this first paragraph seems like really cult recruitment vernacular, I'm kidding, all right? I'm kidding. But some people, when they first come into AA and they hear us all chanting the same thing, grant me the serenity, they probably think it's a little bit cultish. Although we laugh a lot more than cults. Probably. Depends on the cult, I guess. Admit your faults to Him and to your fellows. Well, that's the 4th and 5th step for me. We shall be with you in the fellowship of the Spirit. Now, even though this seems a little bit churchy or culty, it's the truth. Because I have met the most brilliant, deep, intelligent, sensitive, caring, and giving people in AA. Out of all the entirety of my life, I was in the military, I played sports, I attended a variety of churches. And there has never been a camaraderie. There's never been a fellowship like the fellowship in AA. Now, I have something to do with that, right? I mean, I need to show up. I need to talk to people. I need to hang out with people outside of meetings. I need to create a relationship with people. And the irony is, or maybe it's coincidental, is as I get closer to people in the program, I get a little bit of kind of their spirituality rubbing off on me, which is nice. And it's like I'm getting at least a glimpse, at least a window into what their spiritual program looks like by just looking at their actions and really kind of their happiness level or their serenity level. And for me, I couldn't ignore that when I was around it all the time. I saw the laughter, the levity, the love, the vulnerability in people in the rooms, especially, when I went there a lot. And that's kind of the key. Again, action, trudging the road of happy destiny. Today, I feel deep affection for our AA pioneers when I read this passage, realizing that it sums up all of what I believe in and strive for, and that, with God's blessing, the teaching is never over. I'm never on my own, and every day is brand new. Listen, if we think, I'm not going to speak for we. If I think I just somewhat graduate, no, he's taken a really good viewpoint of it because he got depressed that it was over, the teaching was over. I think some people coming in, I know I did for a little while, I just thought, I graduate and I don't have to do this anymore. It's all good. I learned it, got my certificate, my diploma, and off into the world I go. But the longer I'm in the program, the more that I realize I don't know and I haven't arrived. And I'll never arrive, really. And it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. This reminds me, at least my experience with AA in the first year and then what it's been like over the next, 20 years, is the Dunning, and I had to look this up, so don't think that I'm smart. The Dunning-Kruger effect. It's a cognitive bias where people with low ability or knowledge in a certain area overestimate their competence. This classic example is someone learning a little bit about a topic and quickly thinking they're an expert. But as they learn more, they start to realize how vast the subject actually is, and their confidence drops. Here's how it typically plays out. Initial exposure, I totally get it. High confidence, low knowledge. 2, deeper learning. Wait, this is way more complex than I thought. Confidence drops. 3rd, expertise builds. Confidence gradually rises again, but with a more realistic understanding. And that was, and still continues to be, my experience as far as AA goes, which I'm really grateful for because it's almost like a video game. So the first level, once I got a couple of days put together and the obsession was removed, and I had a spiritual experience, and I saw God doing for me what I couldn't do for myself, which reinforced or convinced me, really, that this thing was real. It got easier, and I was excited, and I had the pink cloud. And then the enthusiasm for the program kind of diminished. Now, it's not because that's normal, it's because I wasn't plugged in. And after the first year, I kind of realized just how little I knew. And after the first 3-4 years, I realized how little I really knew. And what was more important is I wasn't freaked out how little I knew. Whereas the first year, I felt like I had to know everything. And then I did know everything. But there's a certain level of comfort in not knowing because of my faith in God, knowing that I don't have to know. He knows, she knows, the universe knows what's best for me. Not me. My best laid plans are, not only are my best laid plans like not good to begin with, but they grossly underestimate, or I grossly underestimate my full potential when I put my own plans in place. That makes sense. All right, this one's getting a little bit long, but this one was a great one, and I'm in a lot better mood today because I didn't wake up late and yell at my children. I got up quite early. If you want to watch yesterday's daily reflections, I will link it right over here, so you can check that out if you want to. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe if you'd like to.